So we're going to keep an eye on the Supreme Court hearing there on Capitol Hill. But first, right now, President Trump is meeting with the new prime minister of Iraq. Top of mind in those talks is, of course, Iran, where U.S. forces carried out a third consecutive night of airstrikes. Let's bring in MS Now White House reporter Laura Barron Lopez and MS Now senior national security reporter David Rode. Laura, to you first. So tell me, what are we expecting the prime minister and President Trump to discuss? I know Iran is, of course, top of mind.
Yeah, that's right. Iran is looming large here, but the prime minister, as you saw, just arrived at the White House moments ago, and he gave a little bit of a preview of why he's coming to the White House and what he hopes to talk about. In an op-ed in the Washington Post, the Prime Minister, Ali Al-Azadi, said that President Trump prioritizes results. I share the same approach. Our discussions will focus on investment. We want leading American companies to consider opportunities in developing Iraq's infrastructure in energy sector, manufacturing, technology, and digital economy. And this is something that the President Trump himself has also talked about in terms of a new chapter that he hopes to have with Iraq and with this prime minister, someone that he supported in his bid to become the prime minister. This Ali Al-Azadi is a businessman and has little political experience, but this was someone who the President Trump wanted in that position. But of course, Iran is going to loom large here, especially when it comes to Iraq's ability to try to rein in some of the Iranian militias. And all of this as the president continues to flip-flop about what exactly is happening when it comes to potential negotiations with Iran, the fact that the memorandum of understanding has essentially all but fallen apart as strikes are renewed, and as the president now has started to float this idea of being reimbursed for protections for Gulf states and saying that he also wants in on potentially tolling the Strait of Hormuz, Antonia.
And then, David, we know that the president is set to give a big speech tomorrow night. Walk me through some of the new reporting, the new information that you have about what the president's expected to say.
So two senior administration officials have told me there was a meeting in the White House yesterday about the speech, and the speech will definitely happen on Thursday. It's not final yet. The broad outlines of the speech will be about the vulnerability of voting machines to foreign hacking. Hacking by foreign governments. That's been, debated before. And then there are people in the administration who are pushing that China and Venezuela have tried to interfere in the 2020 election. A lot of this has been litigated before, and a central player in all this is CIA Director John Ratcliffe. He was the one important frame here is that the 2020 elections occurred when Donald Trump was president. So he controlled American intelligence agencies. So if there was this effort to hack into voting machines, the CIA and the Director of National Intelligence should have known it. John Ratcliffe was the Director of National Intelligence in 2020, and he is part of this process. He publicly said that he thought China's efforts to interfere in the 2020 election, he said this back in 2021, were larger than the rest of the intelligence community assessed. But I'm not hearing anything about proof. I want to emphasize that. No proof that a foreign country did somehow change any votes in the 2020 elections. But that's the broad framing of what is being talked about for Thursday night's speech.
Yeah, it certainly raises some questions, David, since the president, his team was in office at the time that these allegations or questions are going to be raised. But it was two Democrats who were in office when Trump won, and nobody's asking any questions about that.